The Mafia Encyclopedia. All right. So we got more than 95 illustrations and 450 entries. We're just gonna, of course, of, of course, the 2 pages I pick are the 2 pages with none of those 95 illustrations, right? And I hope this isn't that's not what they consider an illustration. Let's find something interesting. So this is, it really is an encyclopedia of gangsters. It's not, because all it is, it's just the names. We got Frank Capone, brother of Al Capone. They got Frank Costello, right? The 40 Thieves. Oh, ooh, I like that. Let's read about the 40. You heard what I said. 40 Thieves. Harlem's black rivals of the mafia. The black ghettos have long been prime looting ground for the mafia's gambling operations. While there is much talk about the blacks taking over numbers operations, the fact remains that most numbers banks run by ghetto residents are required to pay franchise fees to the mafia. Recently, and for years, for example, a top Harlem operator, Raymond Marquez, paid Fat Tony Salerno of the Giannozzi family 5% of his take just to operate. That figure was extremely low because Marquez had always been a favorite of top mafiosi, his father having worked for Vito Genovese, whatever their name is. The belief that blacks own and operate their own racket, as much as example of the black pride as anything else, is nothing new in the black ghettos. In Harlem in the late 30s, an extremely tough gang of blacks, the 40 Thieves, came along. According to ghetto folklore, they effectively battled the East Harlem mobsters for a piece of the numbers business and did not make payoffs to the Italians. If there is truth to this legend, the truth is odd. It certainly would represent an abrupt change in organized crime tactics in Harlem. Dutch Schultz had moved in during the 30s to take over Harlem numbers from black independents who had run it when the organized criminals failed to appreciate the racket's potential. Once Schultz did, he moved with savage efficiency to take over. His enforcers used guns, knives, blackjacks, brass knuckles, and more imaginatively wet cement to blind a victim. Never thought about that one. A legendary black woman operator, Madame St. Clair, had to hide in the cellar under a pile of coal to keep from being murdered by some of Schultz's hitmen. Schultz used Ciro Terranova's gunners to keep Harlem under control, and when the empire passed over to the Dutchman's death, the supervision of the brutal trigger, Mike Coppola, the enforcement taxes did not ease. Okay, so where's Bumpy Johnson in that? Despite these obvious facts, a mystique built up around the 40 Thieves. These undoubtedly tough gangsters started out as an extortion ring operating from 140th Street and 7th Ave. In 1939, they established what they described as their own policy setup. Harlemites fully believed that the 40 Thieves bankers ran their banks without paying a cent to the East Harlem Syndicate. The 40 Thieves claimed as much to other blacks and said they maintained their own hitmen who kept mafia mobsters away. The perception was that Italian criminals had no stomach for battling tough blacks, but the argument still seems suspicious. The full force of the Italian underworld would have to come into play. In fact, the mob probably could have tamed the 40 Thieves without using force. Other black operatives functioned only by paying off Coppola, who saw to it that they operated with minimal police interference. Reclassitrant 40 Thieves would have faced not only gangland violence but also official harassment. Most likely the 40 thieves paid like other blacks, but found their posture of supposed deadly independence after valuable in selling their extortion shakedowns. After all, there was not much hope for a small black businessman standing up to black racketeers who supposedly took the measure of the mafia. Yeah, okay, I get it. 40 thieves, the black 40 thieves. I was disappointed in that. They didn't name Bumpy Johnson. They named Dutch, but they didn't name Bumpy. So maybe the movie Hoodlum wasn't all the way accurate.